Do you know the difference between I cooked and I was cooking? Most IELTS candidates don't. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's lesson, we're learning the past continuous tense, which helps you talk about actions in progress in the past and interrupted actions in the past. This tense is extremely useful for IELTS storytelling, but before we start learning it, make sure to watch the previous video, the simple past tense. Please comment, I was studying, if you're serious about IELTS. Now, let's begin. This tense has two general usages, the first of which is to talk about actions in progress in the past. As you can see here, we have a period of time in the past in which an action was in progress. Now, look at these examples. I was cleaning the room for 2 hours yesterday. So the word yesterday shows the past tense, and for 2 hours is our period of time in the past. So cleaning the room was done in 2 hours in the past. They were watching a movie for a long time last night. John and Mark were working on the project for a month last semester. So last semester is a time expression for the past tense, and for a month is a period of time in which that action was in progress. Now let's learn the second usage. We use this tense to talk about actions which were in progress in the past and were interrupted by another event in the past. As you can see, for the action which was in progress, we use past continuous tense, and for the one which interrupted it, we use simple past. Look at these examples. They were cooking when they ran out of gas. So, cooking was stopped by the second event, which was running out of gas. Now, the second example. She was crossing the street when a reckless driver bumped against her. And the last one. The hotel manager was talking to a guest when the police arrived. Now let's learn how to make sentences with the past continuous tense. For affirmative sentences, we use this pattern. Subject plus was or were plus verb ing. Look at this example. Mrs. Smith was swimming in a pool when she saw her friend. Mrs. Smith is the subject of the sentence. Then we have was, and after was we have swimming, which is the ing form of the verb swim. The next example. You were singing a song when she came in. Again, we have you as our subject, then we have were, and after that we have the ing verb singing. And the next one. I was cooking in the kitchen when I burned myself. We have the same pattern in the sentence. And the last one. They were repairing their house for a whole week last month. Okay, for negative sentences we use this pattern. Subject plus wasn't or weren't plus ing form of the verb. We only put not after was or were. Look at the first sentence. Mrs. Smith was swimming in a pool when she saw her friend. So I just put not after the word was. Mrs. Smith wasn't swimming in a pool when she saw her friend. The next example. You weren't singing a song when she came in. I was cooking in the kitchen when I burned myself. And the negative form is I wasn't cooking in the kitchen when I burned myself. Now, you have 10 seconds to make a negative sentence out of the last example. Well done. They weren't repairing their house for a whole week last month. Now let's learn how to make questions with the past continuous tense. For yes-no questions, we use this pattern: was or were plus subject plus verb ing. I just changed the place of was or were and the subject in affirmative sentences to make yes-no questions. Look at the first example. Was Mrs. Smith swimming in the pool when she saw her friend? I have was at the beginning of the question, then the subject, Mrs. Smith, and after it, I have the verb ing, swimming. And the next example. Were you singing a song when she came in? Were you cooking in the kitchen when you burnt yourself? And the last one. Were they repairing their house for a whole week last month? Please pay attention to my intonation. We have to raise our voice at the end of yes-no questions. Now let's move to WH questions. We use this pattern for WH questions. WH word plus was or were plus subject and verb ing. So I just put a WH word at the beginning of yes-no questions and omit the answer. Look at the first example. Was Mrs. Smith swimming in the pool when she saw her friend? Now, what was Mrs. Smith doing when she saw her friend? In contrast with yes-no questions, I dampen my voice at the end of WH questions. Now look at the next example. When were you singing a song? And the next one. Where were you cooking when you burnt yourself? Now it's your turn. You have 10 seconds to make a WH question out of the last example. Please use how long. Well done. How long were they repairing their house last month? Here's a very important tip for you to learn. If WH questions omits or question the subject, the base form of the sentence regarding singular third person is used in the question, whatever the tense. Now look at this example. Who was shouting last night? As you can see, we don't have a subject in this question. Because we don't know the subject, we use the third person singular past form of the verb be, which is was. And the next one. What was chewing the table legs? It might have been the rabbits. Yeah? Who was teaching English in the class? Now I have an interesting challenge for you. Look at this sentence. Mary was dancing when her friends called me. So we have two parts in this sentence. The first part is past continuous. Mary was dancing. And the second part is past simple. Now look at this sentence. When Mary was dancing, her friends called me. As you can see, we have the word when at the beginning of this sentence. So we have to put a comma after the first clause. We can also change the place of these two clauses. When Mary's friends called me, she was dancing. Again, we have a comma between them. Now please pause the video and say which action was longer. Okay, now it's time for your challenge. Please make the first part of this sentence negative. Okay, Mary wasn't dancing when her friends called me. Now make the second part negative. Yes, Mary's friends didn't call me when she was dancing. Now, make a yes-no question out of the first part of this sentence. Yes. Was Mary dancing when her friends called you? Okay, now make a yes-no question out of the second part. Okay. Did Mary's friends call you when she was dancing? Okay, now let's make it a little bit harder. Please make a WH question out of the first part using the WH word who. Who was dancing when Mary's friends called you? Okay, now make a WH question out of the second part using the word who. Thank you. Who called you when Mary was dancing? Now, there is another WH question with the word who or whom. Please omit the object of the sentence. Yes. Who or whom did Mary's friends call when she was dancing? Now, as I've said in the last video, there exist some spelling points to learn in this session. The first point is letter Y. If a word ends in a consonant plus Y, like these combinations, dy, ry, sy, and etc., Y changes to I before the ending ed. Look at these examples. Harry, hurried. As you can see, the letter Y has changed into I. Apply, applied. Again, we have the same change. And likewise, study, studied. Try, tried. Y does not change before ing. Look at these examples. Hurry, hurrying. Apply, applying. Study, studying. And try, trying. As you can see, in none of them, letter Y has changed into I. Y does not change if the word ends in a vowel plus Y, like these combinations: AY, EY, UY, and OY. Now look at these two examples. Play, played. As you can see, we have AY at the end of it, and the letter Y does not change into I because we have a vowel before it. Likewise, enjoy, enjoyed. But there exist some exceptions. Pay ends paid. Lay, let. Say, said. Okay, now let's learn some points about this combination, IE. If a verb ends in IE changes to Y before the ending ing. Look at these examples. Lie, lying. Die, dying. And tie, tying. In the last example, we have IE, and this combination changes to Y when we add ing to the word tie. Now here's a point for letter E. If a verb ends in E, we add only D for the past form. Please pay attention. This rule is only for regular verbs. Hope, hoped. So I don't add ED at the end of hope when I want to make a past form of this verb. I only add D. Likewise, we have smile, smiled, dance, danced, confuse, confused. And the next point is about doubling consonants. If a one-syllable word ends in this combination, a vowel and a consonant, we double the consonant at the end before endings ed and ing. Look at these examples. We have the word stop. As you can see, we have O as a vowel and P as a consonant. So when I add ed or ing at the end of this verb, I double letter P. As you can see, in words stopped and stopping, we've doubled letter P. Likewise, letter N is doubled in plant and planning. Look at the last example. Rob, robbed, and robbing. But if the word has more than one syllables, we double the consonant at the end only if the final syllable is stressed. Now let's master this point through some examples. Prefer. As you can see, we have two syllables in this word, prefer. The second syllable, which is fer, is stressed. So I double letter R in preferred and preferring. Now look at the next example, permit. We have two syllables and the second one is stressed. So I double T in permitted and permitting. But what if the last syllable is not stressed? Look at these examples. Happen. We have two syllables here. Ha-pen. But the first one is stressed. So I do not double letter N in happened and happening. Look at the next example. Remember. We have three syllables here. The second syllable is stressed, so I do not double letter R in remembered and remembering. So we only double the last consonant if the last syllable is stressed. It also works for the verbs with one syllable. But pay attention, we have to have the combination vowel consonant. So we do not double the final consonant if the word ends in two consonants. Start. Look at this word. We have R and T at the end of it, both of which are consonants. So we do not double letter T in started and starting. Look at the next example. Help. Helped and helping. So we do not double letter P because we have another consonant, which is L before it. We do not double the final consonant if there are two vowel letters before it. Look at these examples. Boil. I have O, I, both of which are vowels, before the last consonant. So I do not double letter L in boiled and boiling. Need, needed, and needing. We do not double letter D for the same reason. And look at the last example. Explain. Before the consonant N, I have A and I, both of which are vowels. So I do not double letter N. Look at the last example. Explain. There exist letters A and I, both of which are vowels. before the last consonant N. So we do not double letter N in explained and explaining. There also exists an interesting point about this rule. We do not double Y or W at the end of words, because at the end of words, Y and W are not consonants. Stay. As you can see, I have only one vowel before Y, but because it is at the end of this word, it is not a consonant. I do not double letter Y. Stayed, staying. Grow. Again, because of the same reason, I do not double letter W at the end of words. Grew, growing. Now let's learn a point about letter L. In British English, verbs ending in L have double L before ing and ed, whether the final syllable is stressed or not. Now look at the first example. Travel. As you can see, we have the letter L at the end of it. So we double letter L in traveled and traveling. Likewise, we double letter L in cancelled and cancelling. This only happens in British English, but in American English, we do not double letter L when we add ing or ed to the verbs. As you can see, in American English, we have only one L in travelled, travelling, cancelled, and cancelling. Well done, now it's your turn. Please answer these IELTS questions and describe these IELTS topics using the simple past tense and the past continuous tense. You can pause this video to answer each question and to describe each topic. When you were a student, did you listen to music when you were studying? Has a police officer ever stopped you while you were driving and talking on the phone simultaneously? Can you describe the last time you lost something? Please describe the last party you attended. To master the past continuous tense, please make 15 affirmative and negative sentences in addition to 15 yes, no, and WH questions. You can also do exercises in one of these books. The first book is English Grammar in Use, Intermediate Level by Raymond Murphy. Please read Unit 6. The second book is Oxford Practice Grammar, Intermediate Level by John Eastwood. Please read Units 9 and 10, and please do Test B. And the last book, Oxford English Grammar Course, Intermediate Level by Michael Swan and Catherine Walter. Please read Section 4. Grammar becomes easy when you understand the meaning, not rules. If this video has helped you understand the past continuous tense, please like it and share it with your friends who are learning English. And please subscribe so you don't miss the next training session. You're doing great. Keep practicing every day. I'll see you in the next video.